Hello everyone, we're the third group about the Britain Award and the analysis of the Prime Minister of Canada, the McCartney Middle Powers speech. So, in January of this year, 2026, the Prime Minister go to Davos and deliver a speech about the Middle Powers and the new world order that was considered one of the most consistent speech of the Prime Ministers in years. So, here's the speech that Carney got. So we're going to listen a couple of minutes where we get the quotes from.
American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition.
Here we see the first quote that was, okay, first of all, Canada defines itself as a middle power, a power that has a good positioning in the geopolitical chessboard, but has no power to make decisions and also not be dominated. We constantly understand this Carney's speech. First, the model learning. It was falling out. A world story in extension states with rigid borders where power is the rule and is territorial. Postmodernity. Blurring of the borders, erosion in sovereignty, and non-state actors and global networks. The rule-based order is not the main idea of this concept. Middle power. Countries with just authority to stand their own, but don't have the capacity to dictate another countries. So, let's begin with a speech of Carney's. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture and a transition. Allowing the minutes to away. What this means to say? Carney believes that this is not a transition, this is not a shift. This declares the death of the old order. But it's the idea that this moment is exceptional and that we need to take actions and responses to achieve a particular position in this new world order. Second quote from the speech. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically, and we knew that international law applied with varying, we were dependent on the identity and of the accused of the victim. This fiction was useful and American and humane. So, we place the same in the middle. This bargain no longer works. This bargain no longer works. What this means? Carney uses the backlog of greengrocer metaphor to say that, yeah, all the people accept the old world order unless it's not useful. So, US, without naming it, he mentioned that US, with his protector hegemony, has gone. So, there is like kind of disequilibrium in the geopolitical world. So, third quote. Middle powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we are on the menu. What this means to say? It means that if they don't act with sovereignty and with power, they're gonna be part of a maybe new colonialism about economics. And I'd like to talk to you about this image because it represents the decisions that could be made. Take the first napkin. Who will take the first napkin? The one to the right or the one to the left? The one who takes the first decision makes to the others the conditioning to pick the one who did it. For example, if I pick the right napkin, the rest of the table will pick the right. If I pick the left, the others will pick the left. So, this geopolitical chessboard is like the Darwinian world. The most apt survives. So, where small, medium-sized countries are prey for larger ones, if they don't organize themselves, they're gonna be in trouble. So, they need to survive by organizing with others.
Well, I'm going to talk speech of Mark Carney that agreed with one new that appeared in a traditional and in international order. So it says that rules are based in a world system and no longer functions as it occurred or happened in the past, with now the increasing of different great powers in all the world. Also, the speech and the news agree that in the international system is entering into a competition of great powers and big countries, and also is the global cooperation need to happen and be bigger to be a rival with among different powers.
So, now we have the expert's opinion. The first expert opinion is the Senator of Canada, Peter Glenn, and I quote from a website. St. Peter Glenn tells Power Politics that Prime Minister Mark Carney's speech addressing world leaders in Davos, Switzerland, was the most consequential by a Canadian Prime Minister in decades. Former Canadian diplomat Louis Blas says it puts Canada at the center of a global middle powers as they grapple with the changing world. What does it say? This law says that the speech from a country that is normally neutral or maybe in favor of the United States is now more powerful than ever before and is more confident about their own opinion. Now, Roland Paris, policy advisor. Paris, a foreign policy advisor from former Minister Justin Trudeau, told CBC News that Carney's speech left him wondering what comes next. Does this signal a shift in Canada's policy? Is Carney preparing us for something, or is it more of a philosophical statement? First, told host article. What this means to say? This law is questioning us if the speech was just like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much just a speech, or something more like actions, if they're gonna really be doing something about this project. Okay, other world leaders' opinion. Macron shares the Canadian Prime Minister's opinion. The French leader said the world was not a time for imperialism or colonialism, and commended that the call used selfless aggressivity behind Trump's threatening boosters on countries using a US takeover of Greenland. Basically, Macron believes and shares opinion with the Prime Minister that they don't want to be under the power of hegemonies like, for example, the United States, China, and Russia. He also thinks that it's important to be in union with other countries that are middle powers. So, now and then, in the Cold War, there was pretty much like similar countries. The contest was a bipolar war, the United States versus the Soviet Union. The role in Canada in the Cold War was an union with the Western Bloc under the US protection. Sovereignty in this time means belonging to a group that can protect you and you can help. Also by creating organizations like the United Nations and the NATO to set new rules to adjust the old world order. So, the strategies from the West Bloc was to block multilateralism. Today, is this a new world order? So, the now context is a tripolar or apolar world where there are a lot of powers, for example, China, Russia, and the United States, with an unpredictable United States with the government of Trump that no longer plays as the benevolent hegemon, that no longer plays to protect other countries, to bring freedom and democracy. So, the Canada role and the middle power roles in this case is uncertainty. Carney proposes a dual strategy. First part of the strategy is variable geometry. Create flexible coalitions, not rigid coalitions like in the Cold War. For example, with security, with Europe, with Asia, with mining, and China and trade, instead of relying on a rigid, straight alliance with just one bloc or another. And a multilateralism of networks, moving from rules follower to creating clubs, or creating rules of sectional rules, or yeah. Alex.
Okay. Now there's more focusing in technology, that is the AI. The AI is a before and after in the world because it's a machine, it's a tool that can process a lot of information and make solutions with that information. So, the technological independence. There's an article, a Chinese article of a minister of China called Baidu. Baidu in that article says that the AI can be used as a war tool because that the AI can make strategies or solutions between in specific situations between wars or any conflict in the world. So, in the technological independence, Baidu focuses in IA for content efficiency, that is, use the AI to have an efficiency in the solve of problems. And Carney positions AI as a strategic investment. So Carney use the AI for making strategies in war and the conflict in Canada. And the use of AI in economic resilience, the AI can build some strategies for Carney or for Baidu in order to have an efficiency in the use of economy and the money in those wars or conflicts. And political concept to political reality. The ending of useful fictions Baidu emphasize in the low value in AI situations. And Carney calls for taking design out of the window. So, stopping the presence that the rules-based international order still functions. Under power truth. Some topic that those ministers defend is that we can use power through truth. This means that we can talk with other countries and innovate in a other way that there is no wars and in a peaceful manner.
Okay, so now we are going to see the AI revolution in content creation. The key points are the paradigm shift and the operational efficiency. First, in the paradigm shift, we have that the generative AI has evolved from a simple assistant to a primary engine for mass and personalized content of production, and the operational efficiency, the integration of advanced large language models, also called LLMs, significantly reduces production cost while maintaining high relevance for the end user. And we have a quote from Baidu Hao that is, artificial intelligence does not just improve efficiency, it redefines the relationship between creators and audience by enabling unprecedented personalization.
G7 opinion. The article explains that the vision suggests that Canada is not just a middle power, but it can also act as a major power in global politics. However, that's make able to shape alliance and contribute to a new international order. In this way, the article interprets Carney's speech as evidence that Canada aims to play a stronger and more influential role in world politics. Also, we need to know that Mark Carney's speech at the World Economic Forum and the analysis published by the G7 Research Group present the same idea about Canada's roles in a changing global order. In his speech, Carney argues that the traditional rules-based international system is weakening and that countries must adapt by strengthening their economies and building strategic partnerships. So that's ideas. These ideas brings our conclusion. Our conclusion is Carney's message is, we think that the Carney's message is clear. So the old global order is fading and the responsibility of shaping a new and fairer system now falls especially on middle powers. Mark Carney argues that the traditional rules-based international order was never completely neutral, since rules were often applied unevenly and depended on the power of dominant states. Today, the system is weakening and geopolitical rivalry grows. In this changing world, middle powers must adapt by strengthening cooperation, promoting multilateralism, and seeking a more balanced and realistic global order.